Are you tired of the typical libraries with conventional music that makes you feel meh? Introducing Leerecs.com, the music website made for and by minds like you. Our team are lifelong musicians and producers in love with music. Search the Leerecs music catalogs and find music with guaranteed originality. Mark the difference with music of signature at Leerecs.com.
Say that I don't care through the ups and downs I've been.
Hello everybody, this is Doug Cash, Believe in the Love. This is a great song. We're very interested in talking with this author. We're really glad, we're really proud to have him here. And here's Doug Cash. And how is it going?
It's going great. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk to your audience.
Absolutely. This is really good. Believe in the Love. This is a really good song. Your voice is really, really unique and fantastic. And we're very interested to learn more about you. So why don't you take the floor and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you.
Sure. I'm the president of Pryor Records and Music Publishing. I'm a self-taught singer, songwriter, musician, arranger, producer. I write in multiple genres. I write in blues, pop, rock, country, dance, funk. I even had one time when I was younger, I had a metal band back in the heyday of bands like Living Colour and Fishbone.
Nice.
And started off listening to my father's record collection when I was really young. A lot of jazz, of course, a lot of Count Basie and Duke Ellington and Charlie Parker and Ruth Brown and Gloria Lynn and Dinah Washington. And then I was listening to the whole Motown thing, and I got crazy about Sly and the Family Stone and the Jackson 5 when I was a kid, and got heavily into the Beatles in my teenage years. And that's when I became a singer-songwriter musician. And I take a lot of pride in that because I like to put myself not in a category, but I like to think of myself as someone who was heavily influenced by the likes of Joni Mitchell and Stevie Wonder and Paul Simon and John Lennon and Sly Stone and Donald Fagen of Steely Dan and a lot of the people who are now icons. And so I've just been carrying on and writing songs and producing and distributing and manufacturing Doug Cash and my label and my brand. And it's a great time to be an independent musician, because now you're not an employee of a major label. If they want to work with you, you're a partner. And so I'm glad I stuck around this long, and it's the best time to be in the music business.
Yeah, I would say so. And it is so important. This is the main prerequisite to get in here, to get on here. To write your own music, to write your own music and compose. It's a great time, like you're saying, but it's also tough. Like, how do you go about it? And you mentioned that you have your own label. Tell us about that. Like, what is your day-to-day, experience?
Well, my day-to-day experience, anytime I'm in front of a computer, I consider that being in the office. That could be in my bedroom, could be in the living room, could be in the backyard, could be anywhere. Because it's not about brick and mortar anymore, going to somewhere, hopping in your car and going to the office. As long as you have your computer, you're reaching out to the world. I have, for example, my video administrator, Alfie, he's in Argentina. I had my person that's in charge of my search engine optimization. He's in Israel. I have a licensing agent in New York, and I have another licensing agent in Los Angeles, and another one in Pennsylvania. And so in this day and age, I'm on my computer anywhere from 8 to 10 hours a day. dealing with all of my different vendors who are promoting my label and my music and my face and my brand to the world for licensing opportunities, for games, for television, for cable, for example, Netflix, Hulu, Paramount, Stars, all of that. So I'm always in those types of negotiations and those types of conversations, and is basically using outlets like LinkedIn that allow you to reach out to people that 20 years ago you could never have any chance of having a conversation with or reach out to them, because now they're trying to reach out and find you. So like I said, it is the best time to be doing this. It really is.
Wow. That's, yeah, absolutely. Totally. I feel the same way, you know, like we operate in a very similar manner. And there's plenty of opportunity, also a lot of competition. So how do you think, you know, I'm going to talk to you in a way that, because I see that you understand how this goes. You have been in this industry for enough time to know the ins and outs. So what would be your advice to somebody who's want to follow your steps, wants to you know, write their own music, publish their own stuff, like try to license it? How do you step out of the competition and the rest? What do you think is good advice for that?
Well, if you're a songwriter, most importantly, you have to be able to, if you're a songwriter and you're not a singer, then you have to go through the process of finding someone to sing your songs. If you're a songwriter and you're not a musician, then you have to go into the process of finding people who are going to help you arrange the music. And so it's a bit more arduous. It's more involved. I didn't have to go through that because I was a singer, songwriter, musician just from the start. That's just how I taught myself. Because I saw anyone with a guitar, I just automatically thought, well, they must be a singer, songwriter, musician. That was rarely, if ever, the case. I would see some guy in high school, for example, playing guitar. Oh, he has some songs. And he would look at me, look, I was crazy. I said, no, man, I just play guitar. I said, I know, but what kind of songs do you have? He says, I'm not a songwriter, man. I'm just a guitar player. And it never registered in my head. I just never understood that. Because I figured, well, if you play guitar, you must write songs, and so you must sing. It all goes together, right? But what did I know?
I feel the same way. You know, being in music for so many years, you know, very many good musicians. They know how to play the instrument. Not so often you find somebody that actually, okay, I write my own songs too, right? I can play covers. So many times I find people that are really good playing covers, but this is not this is not the space. If you're here, you write your own music and you play and produce your own music a lot of times too. So, Doc, you know, like your label. Talk about your label. What's the name? Is it Doc Cash as well? Like, what have you released? What have you released with your label? Tell us about that particular aspect, please.
Yeah, 20 years ago, my ex-wife and we had our own web design business, and I had also started my own label. It was called swrecords.net back in those days, back in 2000. And I had just fired the label I was with because of ineptitude and corruption, and I just said to heck with that guy because he was just wasting my time, and it was always one step forward, two steps back, and a lot of stress, and I wasn't enjoying the process. Even though the music was sounding great, working with that person, everything he was doing was just always contrary to what I knew we should be doing. And so the only way I was going to achieve what I wanted to achieve and get on the right path was to get rid of him and take over. So the first thing I did was I started my label by going out and I signed up with MP3, and that was before there was a CD Baby. That was Michael Robinson back in 1999 to 2000, right when the internet was just getting going for the independent musician. And then CD Baby came along about a year after that, started getting its face out there with Derek Sivers, excuse me, and I had signed up with him and his label, CD Baby. That's the one that really exploded, and I've been with them ever since. They're my sub-publishers. They're the ones that make sure all of my releases are on every single platform that's worth being on internationally. So all I had to do is record it, release it, send it to them, and they did all the work for me. And I've been with them for almost 20 years now. And that's why I'm on Spotify, iTunes, Deezer. I'm on more outlets than I even know, to be honest with you. Dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of outlets, different platforms around the world I'm on because of CD Baby. They're still the best thing going. So all you have to do, if you're a singer, songwriter, musician like myself again, and you have yourself something that's semi-professional, you don't have to go into a studio anymore. They have programs that my son, he does his own production right there on his computer at home, and it's as good as anything that's on television or even in the main theaters and on the big screen. That's how great the production values are now, just working from home. So as long as you've got something that you put out there and somebody buys it, once it's out there and it's published, somebody downloads it or streams it, now you're published. That's the way it is in the 21st century. It's so much easier. And now you can decide whether you're going to be with ASCAP or BMI or CSAC, and you're in the game. So that's the main thing. Get in the game, even if it's just one song. And then you can go to LinkedIn, look for music supervisors, look for music publishers, look for licensing agents, decide whether you want to be exclusive or non-exclusive. Because if you're non-exclusive, then you are in a position to negotiate with everyone you want to. There's no barriers. There's no limitations. You have all the options. So if you're in a conversation with Sony ATV or Warner Chappell, any of these outlets, then they can say, well, we only want you exclusively. I said, well, if you're going to sign me exclusively, then it's going to have to be a substantial signing bonus. Non-exclusive, you can simply be one of the people that I'm working with, and I can still do what the heck I want to do. So you have all the options now, and it's the best way to do it.
I love it. Doug, this is very educational. Thank you for your wise words. You know, I'm gonna talk to you very, very honestly, right? So we want to help. So I'll tell you, we do this compilation record yearly and try to help people to jump start, right? Getting started. Mm-hmm. But it is very important that you are with a royalty collection agency. It could be BMI, mm-hmm. ASCAP. Otherwise, okay, yeah, your music is going to be out there. Maybe we'll reach more people, but you're not going to make nothing out of it, right?
Exactly. Yep.
So, help us develop that message a little bit further.
Performance rights organizations, what they're called, ASCAP, BMI, CSAC. I mean, I was just an associate member way back in the day because I wasn't published in the band I was in. And we were there at the main office of ASCAP in LA, filling out all the paperwork back in the old days. And then, of course, once I got with MP3 and I got with CD Baby, and I let them know, well, these songs have been published and they've been downloaded, and I was on the phone with them and the person at ASCAP, and they sent me my ASCAP card. Boom, just like that. So it's very important to be with someone until you're in a position like maybe where you're established and you have millions of fans, and then you can actually entertain the idea of doing things exclusively through your website. And that cuts out everybody, and that's just between you and your fans. So that's way down the road. You need ASCAP, you need a BMI to be able to track where your music's going internationally, because music is around the world now. Somebody in Budapest is listening to your songs, somebody in China, somebody in India, somebody in Spain, somebody in London, somebody in New York. I mean, I have people in Sri Lanka reaching out to me, telling me on YouTube how much they love the song or something that they listen to every day before they go to work. I mean, that just messes with your mind, the scope of where we're at today, as opposed to the old days where we have to literally pound the pavement just to get an appointment, just to see someone, just to take our cassette and throw it in the garbage after we left, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So it's very important. Yeah, been there, done that. So it's very important to have. It's very important to be able to feel like you're part of the industry now. I mean, it's just they're working on your behalf. See, they're not trying to rip you off, because some people, they have that paranoid notion in their head. Well, aren't they going to steal my music? I said they're tracking your music so it doesn't get stolen, so you don't get ripped off. Okay? So I would tell people, record your music, just do an EP. Because some people just want to record a CD, one CD, and have it sitting above their fireplace so they can look at it every day and pass it out to their friends. And that's it. That's all they want to do. And that's fine. Do that. Start something, finish it. And then make sure, because if you're going to sign up with CD Baby, well, then they pretty much, it's mandatory that you have to either be with BMI or ASCAP or CSAC. You have to be with a PRO, Performance Rights Organization, and they help you with that. Every step along the way, they will help you get in the music business. And it'll blow your mind once you actually have a concept of what's actually going on. And then you can start doing, you can find people on Fiverr who will take your music and attach a video to it. Now you got videos that you can promote. See, it's all connected now. All the tools are there. I mean, there are videos on my YouTube and my Reverb Nation that 20 years ago would have cost you $100,000 to make. You can make them for under $100 now.
I totally agree, 100%. And this is so refreshing. Speaking with you, that you understand the core of, the inner workings. This is how we're trying to help everybody. One thing is scouting good music, but we also want them to get their foot in the door of the industry, to understand that this is important. Start something, finish it.
Sure.
Finish it.
Yeah.
Publish it, put it out there, participate with ASCAP or with any of the other ones. And, because there's a difference, there's a very, very big difference between, somebody who wants to play guitar, for parties, whatever the reason, play covers, maybe record a demo, maybe record a CD, and somebody who wants to take this as a profession. And if you want to take it as a profession, you have to know the outlets, you have to know the inner workings, and you have to be consistent. And if you start something, finish it, like the same way that you start a job, whatever you have to do in your job, and you finish it. And that's how you make it a profession. That's how you make it a profession. It's never, what I tell everybody, is never going to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect. And maybe it's never going to be good enough in your view. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just do your best and finish it, and publish it, and register it, copyright it, and then move on to the next project.
Yep. Because I couldn't have imagined a few years ago that between my Spotify, my YouTube, and my Reverb Nation, that I have over 1 million plays. I mean, that just occurred to me the other day. Kind of blew me away. I was like, wow. I said, that's nice. I said, well, that's a nice marker along the road to my success, my career, my label. I own everything. 1 million plays. I said, not bad, kid.
Not bad at all. Not bad. And even if you take it to the very, very basic concept of, coming into this earth, to this world, and creating something out of nothing. That is all made, it's all done by you. And this is your voice, and it's going to, if you do it the right way, it's going to stay here long after you left. And some people...
Oh, exactly. It's your legacy.
It's your legacy. Yeah. It is your legacy. Wow. Okay, Doug, this is really, really good. Honestly, I want to talk to you afterwards. Hopefully we'll stay in touch and see other ways of collaboration, because you're really worth it. You know what you're doing. You're a true professional artist, and it was a true pleasure speaking with you. This was very, very educational. If you had one final advice for somebody who's just getting started, maybe, what would it be?
Well, if you got the bug, You've got the hunger, you got the passion, and beyond that, you're compelled to do it. And maybe you're the only one who believes in what you're doing, and everyone else is just kind of shrugging their shoulders and rolling their eyes and saying, oh, well, yeah, you're still doing that music thing? Oh, well, good for you. Doesn't matter. You believe in you, and you have to get started, and don't talk yourself out of your own success. Just be true to yourself, and if it takes 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years, be true. Now, if it's not in your heart and soul, then find something else to do. Don't go driving yourself crazy. But if it's what centers you and lets you know why you're here, then you just keep on, ride or die. You just keep on keeping on.
I couldn't say it better. These are wise words. Awesome. Okay, so Doug Cash, true artist for the long run. This was very educational. You pay attention to what he was saying in this interview because, this is golden. So, Doug, thank you so much. We're very honored to have you, and we're gonna listen to the end of your song. Thank you so much. We'll stay in touch, and all the best.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna listen to it. This is "Believe in the Love" by Doug Cash.
To know that you love me. Yes, it's good, you know that I can. Believe in the love that we share. Yes, believe in the love that we share. Whoa. Yes, believe in the love that we share. Whoa. Whoa.
Are you tired of the typical libraries with conventional music that makes you feel meh? Introducing Leerecs.com, the music website made for and by minds like you. Our team are lifelong musicians and producers in love with music. Search the Leerecs music catalogs and find music with guaranteed originality. Mark the difference with music of signature at Leerecs.com.